Gotta go action fast.
Sonic 3, babies. We're here. Let me check if I hit record or not. Sonic 3, babies.
This was, you're definitely in your top 2 most anticipated of the year when the year started, yes?
Yeah, we were going to have our top 10 list, and spoilers is pretty high.
It's on there. Yeah, but I mean, like, this is one you were definitely looking forward to.
All
though,
year.
like,
I've been looking forward to this movie. Yes. Rightfully so. I have gripes. I was
going to say, I definitely think you're going to like it more than me, which is funny because I grew up on Sonic, so I'm a little bit older than you.
I grew up on Sonic, too. You know.
That's true.
I grew up on Sonic X. I grew up on the games, not the original games, but the 3D Sonics.
See, but you were an infant when the Dreamcast came out, and I was a kid that was like,
but they had
take me to the
GameCube
mall,
ports,
so I want to play.
though.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
Like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 had like the director's cut, and then like
that's
Sonic
true.
Adventure 2 Battle.
I just remember sitting it before GameStop became all of GameStop, and it was like EB Games.
EB Games.
I remember at the mall in Bradenton, up north, standing in line watching people playing Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast like a month before it came out, and it was like the most glorious.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are like the 2 that I grew up on. I'm surprised they haven't done like a Chaos yet, you know?
Okay, next movie.
Goop Man? Well, not next movie because of the end credit scene. We already know what the next movie is.
Well, that might be because of the other thing.
It is true. They do lead into each other a little bit, I guess.
We can see. All right, let's get into it. Are we spoilering-ish?
Yeah. Maybe.
It's been out for
a couple weeks. I don't think there's really much you can spoil. Like, there's pretty obvious shit. It follows Sonic Adventure 2. Pretty closely. There's some things they don't do, which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a little bit of old school Sonic 2 in there too.
Okay.
Like
is there
Genesis? I feel like the whole Eggman with the.
I didn't grow up with
in the space with his.
That's Sonic Adventure 2 though.
Yeah, they redid it.
Yeah.
Let's get in the movie.
Sonic 3. We get Shadow finally. The movie just goes. It's like the beginning. We get the Goldfinger song. They have like a little race. Sonic's birthday. Let's go camping. Gun shows up. Like it's like bam, bam, bam. We're done. We're going.
It's fast.
Yeah. In the beginning, it's got one of the Lonely Island dudes.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I know. I saw that.
It reminded me. The beginning reminded me because it's like Shadow in a test tube and like scientist, and he breaks out and beats the fuck. It reminded me of the opening of Detective Pikachu, where like Mewtwo's in like the pod, and then he breaks out and like fucks up everything. You know.
They're gonna say Austin Powers.
I'm like, oh yeah, that too.
No, I see that.
It felt like a Detective Pikachu, which we get a Pokemon reference in this, which is a little.
We do. Got a couple different
strange.
It was
very
strange.
There was
some strange stuff in here. See, okay, I have issues with the movie being too kiddie.
It's way too kiddie.
Now the beginning does this really. This is why I feel like the tone was weird because you jump in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they want to give you this
gritty
backstory,
for Shadow.
Sad, really extreme, but at the same time they got to handle it with goofy kid gloves.
Yeah, and it's like it cuts from like Shadow beating the fuck out of like a bunch of gun like security guys,
like annihilating them,
and then it like cuts to like Sonic's and pool floaties, and they're gonna race to Goldfinger's 99 red balloons.
And I feel like this year, we were more negative than we were the previous year, or the couple of years we've been around. It just feels like I might be wrong. It might just be in movies in general. Okay. You know, I mean, life sucks now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like while I'm sitting there, I'm trying to decide: am I just being negative? Because I was looking forward to this movie too, like Deadpool Wolverine. But the tone, I felt like for the first 20 minutes, it didn't know what it wanted to do, and then once it got rolling, I'm like, okay, now we're going.
Yeah. But that could just be like, we're going to make the Shadow scenes like super dark and gritty, and then we're going to make the Sonic scenes super light and fun. But then they like Shadow and Sonic fight. We get a little thing, like he teams up with Eggman. We all know this. And then we get a little bit of Shadow's backstory.
Then it goes like super, like we're going to get dark again.
But kind of.
But then we're going to like beat around the bush of the darkness.
But then it shows like a montage of him like, you know, he's gonna pull Maria
holding hands and skipping through the flowers
on his little skates.
Yeah.
You know, on roller skates, he's gonna pull her.
That's what I mean.
You know, and it's like to some like walking on sunshine.
It's like really sweet.
Yeah.
But then they clearly show
this is weird.
that she dies, which is why he gets his.
Which that's not a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler. No. That's the story.
That's why he's so mad.
But they beat around the bush about even that. What they did to her, and the things that
Maria
happened.
In the video games gets fucking shot. She gets shot.
Well, they don't. They don't ever show you really after the explosion. Really, she's just kind of like laying there.
Yeah,
and
they shoot an explosive and then it blows up, and she's the only one who dies. But yeah, they don't show it. It's just like a cutaway.
It's weird.
And then they're outside in Shadow and
I'm gonna kill you all.
Grandpa Robotnik are like crying. Yeah, and it's like, this is a little.
That's what I'm saying. Like
strange.
it got tonally, it was weird because the first two are very like, and the second one is the first one.
Yeah,
it's guilty of that. It's better.
And the third one's the second one.
But this one is, just, yeah, they borrowed a lot from the second one also. But the tone, I can't believe, I felt like we were slowly getting to the PG-13. Like Harry Potter, we're growing up with the franchise.
When Shadow like first shows up and he's like breaking Knuckles' hand and like beating the fuck out of him, and he like kicks up the gun on the motorcycle. Like
the trailer made it look like Shadow breaks Knuckles' hand, and then in the movie he just kind of like twists his like, hand bad, no.
And Knuckles like,
my hand hurts. It just, I'll get off of it in a second, but that was my biggest issue. It's just like tonally, it was like, we're a Pixar movie at the same time. It's like, we want to be bad boys.
Yeah, because there are scenes like towards the end where it's like, shit happens. They have to team up. I fucking clicked and dragged into you. Hold on, I'll do a beep.
Fast.
I'm the blue blur because I'm wearing blue. What the fuck were we talking about before I had to speed away and save the world for a minute?
No, I don't remember.
Had to go talk to Shadow. They break into the gun headquarters, like Grandpa Robotnik and Jim Carrey's do a little dance, and then we get. What happens? What was I gonna say? Tell me what. Tell me what I was gonna say.
Well, you know what? Let's start talking. Let's just go, and you'll remember when we're talking about something else. Because that's how it always works. I do want to say Jim Carrey killed it.
Yeah.
I thought he did. I thought he was better than the two.
Yeah.
But
I didn't need the fourth wall breaks.
I didn't need.
It was weird.
Okay.
It's like we're two actors playing different characters in the same movie, and the kids are like, "Oh my God!
Yeah, my kids
they're talking to us."
They're all high-fiving, and okay. I'm trying not to spoil it too much because it's a fun movie, but the fight between Sonic and Shadow.
Yes.
Okay, we have to
Let's talk about this.
We have to talk about
Which one? They were all great. The motorcycle fight is great.
The final fight.
The final fight.
Which is about...
Spoilers, if you care. They're spoilers.
Well, even if I don't
we're going full spoilers.
Go into that completely, but it's like a 7-minute-ish fight.
It's real good.
Probably out of the $120 million.
Okay, I remember what I was... Finish your thought, but I remember what I was going to talk about.
Oh, no, go ahead, because I know what I want to talk about.
Okay, so like they break into the gun headquarters and like Tom gets like injured really bad because like he's got the general like mask because they have like the Mission Impossible masks and he's like posing as like the head of gun.
On the way to the theater and I tell the kids, they're like, how do you think Tom's gonna have a big role? I'm like,
Tom dies.
They're gonna. I'm like, remember Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yeah.
Where he's in the Dave's in the hospital.
Yes, and they have to bring
for most of the movie. Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi.
I was like, they're gonna hospital him, and the kids are like, no, they're not. and they do. But this is what I was gonna get to with like a tonal shift because the second Tom is hurt, Sonic is like, oh, he goes Tom Holland, No Way Home, Spider-Man.
He's like, I'm gonna hurt everybody.
Yeah, beat you to death.
I'm gonna hurt everything. Knuckles, give me the Master Emerald. And Knuckles like, I swore I wouldn't give you the Master Emerald, bro. He's like, I'm a guardian of the Master Emerald.
And Sonic's like,
he's like,
you can't
use it for vengeance. He's like, I will fuck you up. And they both like, like power up with their lightning and like their fucking eyes start glowing. And I'm like, you all were just running together and like having a ball, and now it's like, time to go serious mode. And it's like, man, I wish this was like a PG-13 because then we could have like gone.
Really?
Yeah.
See, we could have got a Knuckles Sonic fight.
Yes. Why didn't we get a Knuckles Sonic fight?
We get Super Knuckles versus Super Sonic.
Like, Knuckles is goofy the whole movie, but then he takes the high road. Like, in that scene, he's like, okay, Sonic, I warned you. It's not a good idea, and I told you it's not a good idea. Here's the Master Emerald.
But they do this weird thing, like, he kind of, they chest puff, and then he kind of gives them the up and down and almost admits that Sonic would beat his ass. And he's like, all right, I guess I'll give it to you.
Knuckles just doesn't, or maybe he's like, I don't want to hurt you. Because we're friends. So maybe he powers down because of it. And like Sonic is still like at 100. Mm-hmm. He's like, give me the fucking Master Emerald. I'm gonna go fuck up Shadow and the Robotnik.
And then it becomes Dragon Ball Z.
And then
the movie becomes Dragon Ball Z.
He uses the Master Emerald, becomes Super Sonic, and then it backfires because Shadow also becomes Super Shadow. And it's like, well, yeah, you dumbass.
But that whole scene was weird because like somehow Shadow is still basically equal strength with him to knock the emeralds out.
He should be stronger as Super Shadow.
But then that's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't even Super Shadow. He manages to knock the emeralds out, grit them, become Super Shadow, and then they're even. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
No, Shadow should have been stronger.
Yeah.
When they're both super powerful.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Super Shadow.
But I'm gonna talk about the fight.
Super Shadow looks fucking awesome, dude.
He was like whatchamacallit, Goku, the pink purple.
Oh yeah, Goku Black.
He had like the, you know what I'm saying though, but it was
Black.
like yeah.
Yeah, he's like kind of white, and like the reds are like kind of pink almost.
And they're like pink and okay. So that's what I wanted to get into.
This is my dream right here. Last 20 minutes of this movie are peak. It's fucking peak.
They're fighting into mountains blowing up, like punching and like hitting.
Punching each other into like different countries.
It's Dragon Ball. I'm like, oh, like I know we've joked about this in other movies, but this is the template they've done it.
You were saying during like the Superman trailer, you're like, this is proof we can make it. And I'm like, wait till you see Sonic 3. Because it's just literally a Dragon Ball fight. Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah, it was great.
My only issue is like, why can Sonic and Shadow breathe in space?
Because they're
powerful. When Tails goes to save Sonic when he's like passed out, he goes, holding my breath.
They're aliens.
I'm like, well, how come Tails can't breathe in space, but Sonic can?
Because he's not Super Tails.
What the hell is that?
Because he's not Super Tails. You know,
give me a little consistency.
He's not Super Tails, which isn't a thing. Like they breathe in space. That's like they're aliens. You know, that's like Shadow's the ultimate life form. Of course he can fucking breathe in space, Jeremy. We do get a cool homage to Sonic Heroes. When like Tails like flies in that game, he like picks up Knuckles, who picks up Sonic, and when they like go to land, they're like in that formation in the exact pose.
There was some cool stuff.
Okay, this is kind of fucking dope.
But
yeah, they're like punching each other. They like punch each other into the moon, you know, and then they're on the moon for a little bit.
They're fighting on the moon.
Yeah, and then they're fighting on the moon, and then they're both out of steam, and they're like. And then they have the same exact scene from Sonic 2, where they're on the beach and Sonic is talking to Knuckles. He's like, my family and friends, and you just gotta blah, blah, blah. Like, that's why I'm good and you're bad, but you can be good because you can be my friend. Sonic already gave him that
speech at the beginning and it didn't work, and now it worked later, though. Because Shadow saw Sonic feel the pain
also, Sonic knows about Maria? He's like, Maria's death wasn't your fault. And he's like, I know. I'm Shadow. But then we get the coolest fucking scene ever in the history of cinema where they fucking dap each other up. They're like holding each other and then they come with the other hand and they both like fucking power up. And Live and Learn starts playing the theme song from Sonic Adventure 2 and I'm like, fuck yes, dude.
And they fly towards the
Eggman. And then they got all the robots, like all the Eggman robots, like the gun robots and shit. I'm like, oh, guys.
It's good.
This was my dream. This was my fucking Live and Learn. Fucking, we get... Except Crush 40 in this fucking shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was
you
good. Shut your mouth.
No, it's good, but like at the same time, it had the vibes of like a weird middle of the franchise, and also like we could be done.
We could be done. Yeah.
So that's what I didn't like either. It did this because the whole meeting up with Robotnik and getting the thing going felt so like we got to do a sequel. Do you know what I mean? Like throw it all together. We got to get the team back together. But like we didn't need that because it's only the third movie. But then like by the end, you're like, oh, this could be the end.
This could be the
fight.
end.
Like how are you gonna top that fight?
Eggman gets his like video game accurate suit by the end when they're
by
in
the
space
very
station.
end. Finally,
it's like and it looks so fucking.
And we
good.
get a funny, sappy dialogue from Jim Carrey that's basically talking to the audience.
He's talking to Agent Stone
through Stone, and it's
the way
really
he delivers
funny
the line
sweet.
from like the first one. He's like. I love your lattes.
I really do like the way.
I love the way you make them.
I really do love the way you make them.
She's like crying.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. Yeah, and the fight between like Old Man Robotnik, where they have like, you know, the praying mantis arms.
He's like, I remember that fist from Green Lantern 2011. It sucked then.
Yeah.
It was weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, this movie definitely felt like it wanted, like the original. They said in the original one because it was. Tim Miller that brought Jeff Fowler over from Deadpool. Like they wanted to do like a PG Deadpool, which is definitely what Sonic is.
Yeah. This needed to be PG-13 though.
It did. That's my biggest complaint.
Like we could have gone harder with the Maria stuff. Like we barely showed the Maria stuff. It looked like they had a blast and then she dies. And then it's like, oh, remember Maria? And Shadow's like, yeah, I do. I'm good now. I'm like, I'm indifferent towards good and evil.
We had to we got to get him flipped to the good side quickly. Like, why? Why didn't they two-part this?
Why is he just fucking shit up? Because Gunn shows up and Gunn sends Sonic, right? And he's like, you're working for Gunn.
I saw you jump out of a gun copter. Yeah. Okay. All right. It sounds like we didn't like it, but that's not the case. I'm just nitpicking the weird shit.
Yeah.
There was weird things that I felt like The tone is all over the place.
You're
That's
right.
what I mean.
You're right.
The other ones are perfect.
They're really good
for what they are.
Yeah.
Especially the first one.
Still probably the best.
The Sonic 2, I think, is the best.
Yeah.
It took the first one and blew it up just a little, like small little thing.
But Sonic 2, again, it spent too much on like the wedding stuff, like which was weird. Like this, we didn't get any wedding. It was like, no, we're going.
That scene was kind of funny.
Full blast.
Where they can
it's
change,
funny.
but it's like,
of course, it's funny.
But technology. If they got that kind of technology, why do they need Sonic? What the hell? You just put this little Hello Kitty looking pen on. You could be literally whoever you want to be and sound like them. And it's a fun movie, though. It's definitely made for kids.
Kristen Ritter gets thrown in this movie for like no
it's
reason. It's really weird. It's strange. People die in this movie. The head gun dude.
But he doesn't officially die because when Tom comes around as him, he's like,
oh yeah,
you thought a little thing like that could kill me?
But he might be dead.
But he might be.
They
left it.
But why would they not know? Yeah, it's a little strange. That's a little weird.
It's weird. All right, what's your score? I gotta hear your score.
I was really high when I got off the movie. No, because you're right. I said coming out of the theater, I was like, it's peak.
You even said like it's great, but it's too kiddie.
It's way too kiddie. And there was like literal like babies in my theater who are just like flipping their gourd, and I'm like, but you don't know. Like, you don't know Sonic Adventure 2. Like, did you make them play the games?
No, but they know all of the. Like,
they know the lore.
They know Amy, and like when they're in the.
Do they know
the Chow
Maria?
Cafe.
Do they know Maria?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When they're in like the Chow Cafe, they all know that. They're
Chow
like
Garden.
The Chow Garden.
How dare you
like
half step on a Chow Garden? By the way,
yeah.
How dare you?
Just to get it in the movie.
Just to put it in, and it's not even an Easter egg. It's like a full scene in the Chow Garden.
No, it's like Sega's Chow Garden. Like what the? Okay, hold on a second.
It's too meta. And they're talking about Pokemon.
I know, like what are you doing?
No, we're too meta.
Yeah.
I'm probably a 7 out of 10.
Wow, that low, huh?
Yeah, maybe I'll go 7.5 because it's not an 8. It can't be an 8.
No, see, but if you put your
the last 20 minutes, 10 out of 10.
I was gonna say if you put your it's made for kid glasses on, kind of like how we got to step back from musicals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I know I bitched it a lot.
Yeah, you did. You don't think it's an 8 out of 10?
No. I do because I'm judging it too harsh. I'm judging it.
No,
like,
it's too kiddie.
I'm an adult and this needs to be made for me as a rated R Deadpool Wolverine. That's never gonna happen.
No, but it does though. But it needs to happen. It needed to be PG-13, which isn't even like you could still take like a 6-year-old do a PG-13.
Well,
like, and I'm not saying like Shadow's gonna be like, "Fuck you, Sonic." Like I don't want.
We get one fuck. And I don't
want that.
Right.
I just like maybe a little blood. Maybe a little more grit.
Not even. I was gonna say it's the stakes.
Yeah.
People don't realize the difference between the ratings like that. Like you can't kill somebody on screen in a PG movie. Not in any kind of way that has any kind of impact.
Like I couldn't stab you and have it be on camera.
Think about every Pixar movie that's ever existed that's G and PG. Like you don't get a lot of violent death in those movies.
No, and I'm not even talking about like violent deaths, but just like more action, more violence.
That's what I'm saying. If this movie would have been a PG-13 and been able to stretch its legs a little, then it would have been like a 9. That's why I'm giving it an 8. Like I feel like the studio stepped in on this one.
Big time.
We got to goof this up a little.
Big time.
I think we'll make more money if we goof this up a little, make it silly and zany. When in reality, I really feel like the second one grew from the first one and got a little more mature and taught Sonic how to be, independent and all of this. And then the third one goes backwards.
Even the beginning of Sonic 2 is still like, he's still kind of Sonic 1 Sonic, but then by the end...
That's what I mean, the growth is
there.
It's better.
And even in the Knuckles show, he's like kind of like real talking Knuckles for a minute.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to find your purpose. Like, I found mine.
It was just a setup. The Wade stuff was funny. I'm glad he got a cameo.
The Guardian of the Master Emerald is fucking Wade.
I'm glad he got a small
That's
cameo.
so fucking funny. Yeah. And Sonic's at 100. I totally forgot he
cool,
goes
bro, take it, man. I'm just like...
I thought it was going to be because they did the whole bowling thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's just playing hockey. Like, man, that would have been cool if he's at a bowling alley.
That's what I thought.
And he's like playing with the Master Emerald.
I knew it was going to be Wade when he's like, well, I'll tell you where. But I figured it was going to be a bowling alley. He's going to walk in and... like I said,
but that's also a dumb throwaway joke. Like, it could have been at the temple that we got from Sonic 2. And like, it could have been another echidna, like we could have done
the main
something.
issue, like it loses the last scene, the last 30 minutes of the movie is about as perfect as you can make this style of movie. That's what I'm saying. I can't go lower than an 8 because everything that it does works on the levels that it does it on.
Yes.
We're holding it to a Deadpool Wolverine standard because that was
not even that.
No, but you know what I mean. Like that was a PG-13 movie that pushed the R bar. This is a PG movie that didn't even get close to PG-13. Do you see what I mean?
And when you have Shadow, you need to be that close. It's like people are talking, and it's like we might get a Shadow spinoff, not a show but a movie. And it's like, can that be PG-13, please?
Just a little,
please.
You've seen what they do in the
like
Marvel
even
movies?
Bare minimum PG-13,
yeah.
like violence. You know,
most of Marvel movies are PG-13.
Yeah.
They're not PG.
No.
So you can get away with a decent amount of stuff, and that's what I mean. Like that bar, they got, you know.
Yeah, like Infinity War.
Yeah.
And
death
Endgame.
and some heads being ripped. But there's no blood when the head. You know what I mean? Like, so you can walk that line, but they chose to like, we're gonna be zany.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Yeah, and like Ben Schwartz is like, it is. He's just Sonic 1
He's
Sonic again.
1 Sonic. Knuckles is goofy, and Tails is like, what universe am I in? Like, you guys are all making terrible decisions this movie.
And why make the Knuckles show if you're not going to do anything with it? Like, he gets the flaming Knuckles at one point.
I agree. I feel like the reason
Where's
Knuckles...
his hat?
Yeah,
where's the hat that he gets?
I feel like the reason we get his character, though, the way it is because of the show. I will give it credit there. Wade taught him to
be silly.
To be silly and chill out. So, but obviously he went too far.
Yes.
But I mean, like, at least we got a developing character from the show. It did tie together.
That is true.
And Wade was never going to be any different, which is funny.
No, that's
why
fine.
that throwaway is funny.
The cameo is good. I like the cameo, and we didn't get that spoiled in the trailer, which
was nice.
That easily could have been a TV spot, like, and thank God
it will be in a week or two.
It was so funny when it was like, oh, it's just Wade playing hockey on a rooftop, like.
Give me that. Yeah,
no, that's yours, dog. It's fucking yours. Yeah. Yeah.
Really go check it out. It's definitely a theater movie.
I want to
do the end fight.
I want to do a separate video for the end credits because we got some fan casting to do.
Okay. You're gonna do that now?
Well, yeah, we gotta end the video.
I thought we did. That was the
bye.
We wanted Spider-Man from the '90s to be finished. No one wants this. Who wants this?
Give us Spider-Man '97. Give us that.
Did someone kidnap Kevin Feige and let Sony take over for this project? Because this looks like dog shit.
Why would you make it look that bad?
Why does it look like that?